Welcome back to a new episode of the 6 a.m. Club, where we start our day inspired. Today, I have a very short but powerful quote for you. And the quote says, "One finds its limits by pushing them." The way we find our limits is by pushing them. And this reminds me of our comfort zone, right? We know that growth happens outside of our comfort zone. But when we are within our comfort zone, we believe that the limits of our comfort zone are indeed our limits. That our ability, our capacity to do something, to achieve something, to pursue something ends at the edge of our comfort zone. And we believe that the edge, the border of our comfort zone, it's our limit. But how many times have you stepped outside of your comfort zone into your learning zone and figure you had not reached your limit yet, and you discover that your limit was bigger than you thought it was? It can be frightening sometimes to cross that border between our comfort zone and our learning zone. It's definitely frightening to cross the border between the learning zone and the anxiety zone. And we all know that the best way to grow is to step outside of our comfort zone into our learning zone, trying not to go from the comfort zone to the anxiety zone all at once. But as we ease ourselves, what happens is that what was our learning zone becomes our comfort zone. And as such, our limits all of a sudden expanded. And now that anxiety zone that was so frightening, now is just a new learning zone. The more we push our limits, the more we realize that that was not our limit, that we're capable of so much more. And I'm sure that you can think of many examples of situations that you have faced where you thought that you had reached your limit. And just then you push a little bit more and you realize that that was not your limit. The only way you can find your true limit is by continue to push what you think your limit is. So here's my call to action today. Push your limit. Find a way of pushing your limit and then reflect on what happened. Did you realize that what you thought your limit was in fact not your limit? Or did you confirm that that was your limit? I bet you're going to find new limits that you never thought were there. You will defeat the limits that you have imposed in yourself or others have imposed in you. Because let's be realistic, that happens more often than not. What we believe our limits are, first of all, they're not, but second of all, are just limits that we have imposed in ourselves or have been imposed in us by others. Challenge yourself. Challenge the limits that you have imposed to yourself or that have been imposed to you. And by challenging those limits and pushing into those limits, you will only find that you're capable of so much more than you think you are. I hope you have an amazing weekend. I will see you here Monday for a new episode of the Leading Yourself podcast.